the claim that ICE went into a LAUSD graduation, man, that turned out to be a false.
So that wasn't true.
It wasn't true at all.
So hold on. Because we all heard it.
Yeah, we did. In fact, I'm going to play the clip right now of the brother saying that he witnessed it.
I can't handle this, y'all. This is crazy, yo. I didn't think this was about to affect me like this. But our neighbor school, y'all know I work at a school. Our neighboring school, I think it's Gratas, I don't know how to say it. It's Gratas or something like that. They were having their graduation. And there's helicopters in the sky. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Gratas, I believe elementary, was having their graduation. And all of a sudden a bunch of parents have to run out because ISIS is there. This is the story that I'm hearing. And, our school goes on lockdown. Our principal, tells us it's a drill, but we know it's not a drill. And, I had to come outside. It's my break. We kind of got off of a soft lockdown. And parents had to run out because they don't have papers. And they had to leave their kids because the kids do. What type of shit is this, yo? And then kids are freaking grabbing teachers and crying on their leg because they don't know if they're about to see their parents when they get home. What the fuck is this? And we voted for this shit? 15 people just got picked up on Wilshire at the Home Depot. On Wilshire. Yo. Man, oh my God. This is not right. This is not right, yo.
And he's on a live streaming, crying about, I can't believe what I'm seeing. The ICE raid came into a graduation. It was supposed to be Gadsden Elementary. That's where he was working right there. And it turned out to be, it never happened.
Maybe they was across the street raiding something and they assumed they was going into school. It better be something close to that and he just wasn't clout chasing.
Bro, I watched a couple reactions to the dude and everybody was like, what's wrong with this guy? This guy just, and then he got emotional in the video. It looked like he started crying. I just wanted to put that out there that even though ICE is out here being treacherous as a mother effer, they did not go to Gadsden Elementary School and scoop people up during the graduation. I want
to say it had to happen at some school for it to be out there like that. Maybe he put his little extras on it. I think it had to happen at somebody graduation.
Well, when we did the episode, I did the research on it. I took a deep dive. I spent at least an hour and a half, and I found this brother. He's the source of that story. He's the source, and then at least 2 people or 3 reacted to him, and most of the reactions was like, "What's wrong with this dude?" But because he was over emotional. It was almost like he was acting. Like, for example, to use a term that you weren't aware of, I heard you on another
crisis actor.
Crisis actor. There you go, man. You read my mind. He sounded like a crisis actor. He was just over the top. I've heard some real crisis actors on interviews, like during 9/11, back in 2001.
Right.
There's a couple interviews. You're like, now that in hindsight we have a better way of looking at things. You could tell, oh, that interview right there, he's a crisis actor for real.
Okay, so Lush was saying crisis actors, they be in stuff like that with 9/11 and things, and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they jump in there and
it don't really be murders. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, who are you talking about right now?
I'm talking about Ceddy Nash. Ceddy Nash got on the news and you told, and you know what I'm saying? You said, pow, 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 and I just heard it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what that was.
A man is dead after a shooting outside a downtown Sacramento bar.
Let's go to the night team's Richard Sharp. He is live at the scene at 15th and S Streets. Richard. Yeah, just the last little while, we've learned from police that they have detained a couple of people in this. They are questioning them, and they say they have stopped searching for the suspect. Now, the people they've detained won't say that they are the suspects, but they are questioning them. Take a look at the crime scene behind me here. Now, the body who was shot in this, the person, the victim, a man in his 30s, the body is still on the sidewalk there, just outside the Monte Carlo. Take a look at the video from one of our photographers showed up on scene, one of the first on scene. This happened about 8:41. Police say a police officer was nearby, heard some gunshots, and as that police officer drove up on scene, saw someone running from the scene, getting in a car, and that car speeding off. Gave pursuit a couple blocks away. That person ditched the car and jumped out and ran off. They searched for quite a while, basically had a helicopter up and really locked down several blocks. That has since been removed. The helicopter has gone away. We also spoke with some witnesses about what they heard. They said they heard an argument just before the shooting. When you heard the argument, was it a long argument? Was it just short? Did it seem like they knew each other?
It was static. And his friend was like, he not even a part of this. You know, he not a part of this.
And boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
But
Is there a clip of him actually saying he was a crisis actor? I didn't see it.
yeah, no, it's a clip because it was on No Jumper, and he when Adam called him on speaker, and we was questioning him about it, and he said he was a crisis actor.
Yeah,
He got paid $10,000 or something.
you're not normally going to see a crisis actor in some local crime news story. You know, it's usually government involvement, huge conspiracy type things where people got to jump in there. Like, for example, Alex Jones believed that the Sandy Hook shooting was not real. That was the mass shooting where a whole bunch of little kids in an elementary school got killed.
Sandy Hook, it's got inside job written all over it. Sandy Hook is a synthetic, completely fake, with actors, in my view, manufactured. I couldn't believe it at first. People just instinctively know that there's a lot of fraud going on. But it took me about a year with Sandy Hook to come to grips with the fact that the whole thing was fake. I mean, even I couldn't believe it. I knew they jumped on it, used the crisis, hyped it up, but then I did deep research, and my gosh, it just pretty much didn't happen. I mean, I've interviewed the cops and the people that saw the feds plant the bombs in Oklahoma City. You saw them stage Fast and Furious. Folks, they staged Aurora. They staged Sandy Hook. The evidence is just overwhelming. The Newtown kids, they take them, put them in our face, tell us their names, who they were. I heard an ad this morning on the radio, Bloomberg paid for locally, going, I dropped Billy off and watched him go around the corner, and he never came back, all because of the guns. Won't you just turn your guns in for my son?
And he said, these people are crisis actors. It turned out to be a real shooting with real victims from real families. They sued Alex Jones. The family sued Alex Jones and were awarded like millions of dollars, almost bankrupt the dude for going on his show talking about Sandy Hook didn't happen.
That's crazy.
Those are the type of incidences where you're going to see crisis actors. Right. Yeah.
Not a local shooting in the hood.
Nah, I've never heard of a crisis actor in a local shooting of a hood. That's insane. So, but what was the whole thing between you and Ceddy Nash? Y'all was going back and forth, or was that somebody else?
No, we wasn't going back and forth. He kind of got jumped by the No Jumper cast because they called him about bringing YSL Woody to the 60s, and he apologized afterwards, and he got chastised by the older 60s and stuff. So, and then, and bring it to everybody like, well, he told anyway. YSL ain't the only snitch, you know what I'm saying? And then Adam called him, and he said that wasn't real. He's a crisis actor, and you know what I mean? Then.
Well, let me tell you, when that video of Ceddy Nash being on the news explaining what happened in the
that was a real news source.
Yeah, that was a real news
from Sacramento, and that's where he's from.
Yeah, well, when that story dropped, that hit the internet a couple years ago.
Right.
And Ceddy Nash had addressed it a couple years ago, but he never said anything about a crisis actor. I remember him saying that he knew the news reporter. The news reporter was a personal friend of his, and he was doing a favor by helping the news reporter complete a story for the news.
Orange 15th in Sacramento is a bunch of bars. I was there to meet bitches. The news reporter is my homie. I can show you on on Facebook a couple of news reporter homies. So let's get to it. What was said versus what actually was in the goddamn report. When he say, no, what did he say? You heard the conversation. I say, yeah, it's real static. And his homie say, not even a part of this S. Well, in the actual paperwork, there was never an argument. Zero. He didn't have no friends outside. It was him and Buddy. That's it. So there were no friends. There was no argument. Zero.
Mm-hmm.
So on top of that, who said boom, boom, boom first? Was it me or was it the news guy?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So if you rewind the news clip, he say, then boom, boom, boom. I agree. I'm like, then boom, boom, boom. Because we running the play. You had nobody. If you look at the lights where we're at, we're in the far off distance. You don't even see the blues. If you see the blues, then you right there. Yeah, think about it. Why the hell would I be next to a dead body smiling and laughing? That's a little odd.
Maybe
like,
you're just that savage.
Possible. Yeah.
Possible.
Possible.
But, okay, so you're saying that you weren't anywhere near this.
Bro, that was a made-up story.
Oh, okay.
That was a whole made-up story.
That was it. And basically he was saying whatever he told the news reporter, it was fabricated because he was just helping the story. Now, this crisis actor excuse is brand new to me.
Right. I never heard of the term until that day.
Oh, yeah. It's, if you tapped in with stuff like 9/11, the Oklahoma City bombing, Sandy Hook shooting, those three come to mind where the term crisis actors have come up. With Sandy Hook, it was untrue. It was completely untrue.